Greetings and welcome to the Healing Cafe. This is Dr. Nadine Bird, CEO and founder of the Healing Cafe. I have my co-host here, Renita Whitfield. She's a social worker for Destiny for You Counseling and Training. And I have my special guest, Shimona Solomon from Level Up with Ms. Mona. So let's get started, panel. Ooh. And my first question for Ms. Mona is, how does that connect fashion and clothing and dressing? How does that connect with healing?
That's a good question. I personally think that in order for to make the clothes be like I feel like clothes are only fabric. Mm-hmm. And you have to have an inside connection with who you are, your self-esteem, to make the fashion to flow, to ignite the clothes. So it's all about the healing from within for the healing of the clothes to come without. So it brings a big avenue to it. Because a lot of times when you walk in a room, first thing someone sees before you even open your mouth are your clothes, it's your look, and you have to pull that off with your confidence.
Mm-hmm. So now, how would I get started? Just say I was a listener out there and I wanted to know, where do I start to start dressing differently?
Good question.
Well, it depends on where you wanted to. How do you mean? What does different look like for you? Mm-hmm. So if you came to me as a stylist, I am a personal wardrobe stylist. So my first questions would be, what does this look like to you? Mm-hmm. Because what it may look like to me may not be what it looks like to you. So I have a social worker mentality to ask, what does that look like for you? Mm-hmm. So when you tell me that, let's say for instance, you may say, different to me, I just turned 50, mm-hmm. and I want to change. I feel like my clothes are boring, and the way I used to dress is not how I want. That's not how I feel now. Mm-hmm. And we may go through the motions of, okay, so when you turn 50, mm-hmm. At some point, what was the feeling? What did that look like for you? Did you start when you went to church, or when you went? Where are you going to these places that's making you feel the way you dress now is not adequate for you? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they would say, well, it could be anywhere. I just feel like I'm bored now. And a lot of times it's about the change change of the age, and where you feel you are at that point, and where you want to be, and you want to feel younger. I think it's kind of like a midlife crisis, in a sense. Because at 50, I cut all my hair off, and I wanted it to be blonde, and I wanted it was short, and it was fine. You do something that makes you go through a revelation, but that's fine. So we will go through those notions and come to a consensus of what I start to hear from you, what you're saying to me, and what I'm seeing, and what we in time we'll build together to get a new look.
So it brings newness in your life.
Yeah,
it's an uplift.
Yeah.
And I can remember when I turned 50, I wanted a tattoo. I would just want to do something that was unusual.
Right.
And just out there. And I guess that's the age when you feel like, I don't know, it's like a lot of people say you when you're young, you think of 50 as being old. Right. But when you turn 50, you see 50 as being, oh man, I'm getting ready to live.
Yes.
All your children out, there's nobody at home. You can just have fun. Yeah. It's like you just feel like, wow, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and most of my new clients are in their 40s and 50s, because some feel their 40s. I felt it at 52. I'm 52 years old. So it's in my life, at that point, like you said, your children are grown, and then you got to have grandchildren. And then you're like, well, when I used to think of my granny, I thought, but then I'm looking, I look like a granny. I'm not, but I still feel vibrant, and I want to do something that is outside the box. Yeah. And I want to just be like, my new revelation, I'm different. I'm a new woman. So you want to do something drastic. And like you said, with a tattoo, when my first marriage and I got divorced, that was the first thing I wanted to do, a tattoo. You want to do something that says I'm new.
Yes. And I can remember 50, but I also remember when I turned 60, and it didn't get any better. I was just ready to just do something, jump out of the airplane.
Right. Exactly.
Do something else different.
Exactly.
Do something else different, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if we have to feel wanted or we have to just feel life. I don't know what it is.
And like a rejuvenation.
Yeah, it's like a rejuvenation.
Right.
So that's what clothing is,
Right,
a rejuvenation.
right.
Yeah.
And it could also be, and I grew, I think at 50, I started recognizing God in me. Like I wanted to do everything. You want to grab it because you see that to be the midpoint to maybe the end. So we're on the end part of our life. So you're like, okay, I gotta push all this in. Yeah, so I want this new look. I want this new hairstyle. I want to let me get my life right. All that combines it together. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I heard you say to someone you started also with the foundation.
Oh yeah, you definitely
with what they wear underneath.
Right. You heard me say, because I've dressed you both, and I say people always ask what's the first step. So the first step always in anything is the foundation. The foundation of, because it's your undergarments, your brasiers, everything that you need to keep that foundation. Clothes, the way it's gonna fall, the way it's gonna uplift, the way it moves, everything is based off of what's in, just like our bodies, our foundation and the gear that the way we muscle up our bodies, the way we sit, the posture, everything is all built in the foundation of our body. So it's the same way with clothes. Everything will fall in a better place when it's smoothed out and has a good foundation.
Yeah. And it helps you spiritually as well. Because I can remember, I think it was last week when you was bringing all those clothes in for us to try on. Man, and all of us was like in a slump over different issues in our personal lives. But it's like I just felt like Cinderella.
Right, that's my job. I want you to feel like Cinderella.
And just in the office, just trying on different outfits and different clothes. She dressed me today. So it's just so much fun. So it's uplifting. It's a healing. It was an inner healing. It was a joy in the office.
Right.
We was laughing until we thought about other people in the building. We too loud. But
we were loud.
But that joy, that just clothing and dressing brought that joy and that happiness.
Right.
So,
and it's my ultimate goal.
Yes.
I want that. I want you to feel it to be fun. It's my job. I know it's about clothes, but it feels so much different for me personally, because a lot of people don't like trying on clothes. They don't like to shop. But I want you to have an experience when we're together. I want you to take in the whole heave of the experience of not only me putting you in some garments. That is not the goal at all. We are intertwining with yourself. We want to build up and get that whole build so you can go out in the world and display who you are. And the clothes are just one factor of it. But when you feel good in it, you'll walk stronger, you'll pull it off, you'll be everything that you're wanting to be in that moment.
And I've also heard you say, because there's somebody out there saying, stylist. That sounds like some rich people. So, I can't afford no stylist.
That's what I used to think. I did.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely don't want you to feel that way.
So, how much money would I need, say, if I'm just strapped for money, and I want a new outfit?
Well, and you don't like to shop or something like that? Yeah.
No, I just want you to suggest some stuff, and I can go shopping, but I just don't have a whole lot of money to pay you.
Okay, well, that's my niche. My niche is to know how to get what you're needing to pull off what the mission is, and for me to do it in the budget that you have, what you can afford. You have to have an open mind, because some people want you to only shop at Macy's now, or shop at Fifth Avenue in New York. Okay, where your budget lies, that's what. But I can get the look because I factor in the fact of where you may see. I like to do styles like you'll see Janet Jackson wearing, and she may have on Gucci and so forth. And then I would like to mimic. I can get you that, say, oh, I like Janet, and they don't know it yet, but then they say, I like Janet, I feel like this, and I said, okay. And then I start thinking, how can I mimic this and for the budget that they have? Because I don't want anybody. How can you feel? I don't feel good if you have a budget of $50 and then I'm showing you things that cost $200, and then I know if I show it to you and you feel the fabric and you do this thing, you're wanting it, and then you go beyond that, and then you may feel good in that moment. moment and you buy it, but then later on you have to suffer in some avenues of your life because you took that big heap and that's not where you were. And so it's always good for me to stay in budget and to still get the look and still make you feel good, take it to another level, give you different options of what you want in that budget, which sometimes it requires, like I said, open mind. It requires you to feel where we're going with it. So that's why it's always good for us to have a conversation. So you can be honest and take you there. So yeah, we can get you there. Yeah.
Okay. So what would you tell someone, what we call fluffy, plus size? I work with domestic violence, as y'all know, and we get a lot of people from all walks of life, younger women, older women, all shape sizes, and they have to spend out a lot of money in the courts, and so what would you tell them to build up their esteem? Because some people, they don't feel like they have the money, as we talked about earlier, but it's more about their esteem and what they're wearing. And then the plus size, how would you encourage them?
Well, I can say that I have probably been every size from size 10 all the way up to size 26. So I can relate in all avenues. So I am, and I'm very partial to anyone. Even you would be more amazed that people have more slender people have more less of self-esteem than the fluffy side. So, but I would say that let's see where it's really coming from. But like I said, if you don't have, I have to build that up inside, because I can put something on you, you feel good with me, but then when it's time to carry it out, you're still there. And so if you say with domestic violence, us having a conversation, it's a lot of times when I'm talking to the person and the client, and we're just really down home talking, and they will start to cleanse, because we stand in front of a mirror of a 360 value, and we try to relate to see what's the best part. What do you feel good about this body, this portrait? What excites you, miss? And then they might say, oh, I love my face, or I love my hips, or I love my face, my ears, anything. And then we start from there. And I don't like to put anything of a negative comment on anything, because I think that God made us, and we are perfectly and wonderfully made. So nothing is per se ugly. So we don't want to use that. We just say, okay, well, what do you less love about who you are, or what's not so?
That's good.
And so when they say, well, they may say, oh, well, I just can't stand my legs or something, and then I say, well, why? What's the problem?
This area.
Yeah, a lot of times it's the stomach or the tummy, and then so that's my forte too, because I feel if that's where the problem lies, that's where I want to camouflage for you, and I want to give you ways of taking it there. You want to look and you want that to be emphasized away from, then that's what we'll work on for you to have, for we can emphasize that if you liked they said they like their hips or whatever, so we'll emphasize on the hips, let that lay cool, and then we'll cover that up with camouflaging where the midpoint is and you don't like so much. But in the all piece, that when you walk out, even if it's the shoes, oh, I can't walk in heels. Okay, you might can, but you might not be wearing the right ones. Or I can't do this. All that can't is, let's just try, because I can tell if I put something on or how you walk, that maybe you could pull this off. You just don't know the right structure of the way the shoe should be, or the right structure of where the clothes should fall. So it's all about that's where I come in as an expertise, but then it's all about knowing the client.
When I tell you, Shimon, what you do is so awesome, because even I've been knowing you for a long time, and you coming into your own as a stylist with just what you said is about not being able to wear a heel. I was in that area, and you said, well, why didn't you ask me? I can help you with that. I never knew that a stylist could do so many different things. I think just clothing, but it's almost like a way of life.
Right.
You can actually change somebody's life. I have problem with my feet right now, and I couldn't wear the beautiful heels these ladies having on. I had to get a wedge heel. And Mom put me in a wedge heel. I'm like, girl, I can't wear that. put me in that wheelchair, and I was
Mhm.
walking. My feet didn't hurt.
Right.
I wore it all day. Kudos to you, baby.
Right.
Yes.
And,
Kudos.
thank you.
And the same thing happened with me because I used to wear stilettos, and now I'm 67. So at 67, I had to get into
Baby,
my,
look
I had
good.
to, I had to go into flats, almost sneakers. And then she came in the office with these.
Y'all see that?
I'm like,
Y'all see
why?
And then I was
Why?
like, wow, I can walk in
And
these.
she walked everywhere.
And
And
strutted,
it was-
baby.
strutting these shoes all day.
Yeah, and it brings me joy. You know, I love the fact that, you know, okay, we talking and you saying, you know, and just like with Renita, and she was saying about wearing shoes, she was wearing like tennis shoes and she
And
wasn't happy when
flat
they
shoes.
ugly. And I'm like, well, why you just didn't tell me? And I
Mhm.
said, now we went over to the computer, we pulled up some stuff. I said, try these, and they have them in colors. They have where you could still be stylish in
Mhm.
whatever issue you have. It's a way to get around it that you can still be happy and still have the right shoe that will fit whatever issue you got going on. We can make it work. Let's just talk about it.
And
Yes.
reasonably priced.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Yes, out there, you go to the right spots. You do not have to spend a lot of money to look good. You do not.
Yes. And I have friends that shop in consignment shops. And stuff,
Yes.
and they dress really nice.
Right.
But I think it's something you have to learn how to shop in consignment shops. Because it's like, I can never find
Yeah, you get overwhelmed. Some people,
I get overwhelmed.
yeah, some people don't. They walk in it, and if it's not, I call some people they're mannequin shoppers.
Mhm.
They walk in a store, they want to see a look on a mannequin, and they just say, I want that.
Mhm.
Not even knowing if that looks good on your body, but they just I want whatever that mannequin has on. They want from head to toe the mannequin, and they get home and they're not happy. Whereas if, you know, like in a consignment store, I love sometimes I feel like it's like finding lost treasures, you know, and but you gotta have the patience to search through the dirt like you would go to a lost treasure and search and do how you get it and find it and then dust the dirt off and you got pearls.
Yes.
So it's all about it's all about the concept of just changing your mindset of how. But if you go in, a lot of people get overwhelmed looking at the things like they're not together. There's no mannequin up there all dressed and all this. But then that's why you get a stylist. That's what makes me so valuable for you. If you have all those qualms about overwhelming with clothes, or some people have just overwhelmed with shopping alone. They don't like to go in stores. They don't like to try on things, anything like that. But so if you come to me, then we learn together. I bring you different options. You come in, it's just you and I, and you try them on there. You don't like that, let's try this. You don't like that, so I bring the store to you.
All right. That's awesome.
Awesome. Absolutely. I was in a meeting earlier today, and it was teaching us how to dress in interviews and when you go into the workplace. And it was a lady, a seasoned employee, because I'm a seasoned employee myself. I'm 57. So the ladies were saying in the video, it said that you had to dress your age and not dress too old and not dress too young. So talk about that, how you feel about that, dressing your age.
Yes, I would like to know that.
Yeah, what I just don't get it. How do I dress my age? In today's society, we're not like our grannies of the 60s or the 70s, where we are today as liberal women that are working in the world, and we're vibrant, we're strong. We even have a female going for president. So I think that, and the age thing is like a somewhat of an insult to say dress my age. What does that have to do with what I'm feeling like? Or what exactly? I don't understand that language. So that would always be a problem for me, because I feel I dress the way I want to dress. Now it's sometimes when dressing inappropriateness is of value, but my age should not be the way I feel. If I'm appropriate for wherever I'm going, then that's that. And sometimes it's a question of what you feel to be appropriate, what I feel to be appropriate, but that's just a question of anything. Like you may think the way as a stylist, I'm very creative. So sometimes I may come to work, and this is my work environment, where I display art on my body, and I may go out there sometimes, and so you may but I wouldn't wear that when I was a social worker with defects. I didn't wear those same things there because that wasn't appropriate there, and because I was going into schools, I was going in the hospitals, I was going in the courtroom, so it wasn't appropriate, and I wouldn't address those things. So it's all about just being an adult, being mature. So I guess that's my age to know maturity starts with what you dress in what appropriate places.
Maturity. I like that. Absolutely.
So that's how I would handle that.
Yeah, that was I wondered about that question when she told me about it. Dress your age, because how do you do that? Now I think that you can come in with a skirt. You can have on a suit and the skirt is way up your thighs.
Yeah,
that would be inappropriate.
Right.
No matter where you are.
You're right. Looking for a job.
Looking for a job, going to the courtroom.
Well, you might be looking for a job. Well, yes, depending on the
It
job.
depends on the job. Right. I just thought of that. Yeah.
You go into a club, then that might be all right. So yeah.
Where they need to see you, but are either a gymnastic person. Sometimes they wear things because it's more easier for the position, or the skater. They wear things that show because it's a position. So it's all things that can still be a qualified job, but it's just what you need.
Right.
So yeah.
So have you ever styled, do you style men, or do you have any men clients?
I have styled men because I have done work for being a designer for TV shows. I've done a play. I've done sitcoms. So in that manner, I've styled men. In fashion shows, I've styled men. It's just more keen that more women come to me. But as we go on through me getting more into it, my business growing as it is, that I'm becoming more to they're coming in to want that. But men are more reluctant to want a stylist. They just go with what they feel like. But as in this society, they're coming around because they want a new look. They want more, how do I do this? But just like men, some not no shade, but they will ride around and don't know the directions, just not ask where something is, but but eventually they come back. So, yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's good. And I also heard that you were styling the office. Well, not styling, but decorating.
Yeah.
So that seemed like, I'm like, wow, that is in the same thing.
So exciting. But it's the same thing, and it's different, and it's my first time. But in my office when I moved, we leveled up, and we moved from a smaller office into big because God is good.
So
and they would walk by and see the decor, and so then they inquired, and then so this is my first client as to decorate his office, and I'm very proud of that. I cannot wait to get started on it, and it's different, but then it became, when we could have the consultation, it still seemed like the same thing because I was asking the same questions, like what do you want, like what drove you to wanna meet, and then he was like, well, I just started looking around, and then people come in and it's like, you need to do something with your office. And then I, walk by yours and I see this and I it's vibrant or whatever. And I was like, well, but he don't want, of course he doesn't want my look. You come in my office, you're going to see avenues of style, and you're gonna, but so I know not, that's just like knowing where things are appropriate. That's not for him, and so it's taking me to just like women to men kind of situation in clothes, the same way with the interaction with the office. That's the outlook that I'm taking with it.
So is that a new venture for
It
you?
is a new adventure, and I take on the challenge. I'm ready for it.
All right.
You never know where God will lead you.
So you're going to start marketing for that.
Hey.
So what do we have on the menu? We have plays.
We have plays.
Sitcoms.
Yeah.
Offices.
Fashion shows.
Fashion shows.
People.
All right.
Men and women.
Men and women. Make that money.
Kids. I have no kids.
All right.
Yeah, kids are fun. I've done
Mhm.
pageants
Mhm.
for taught young get ready for the prom. I taught them how to walk. Them kids
Oh.
never have walked in heels. Young ladies have never
Mhm.
walked in heels. I've
Okay.
actually dressed for pageants. I've done that numerous of times.
Wow.
Been hired to my daughter come to me and they said my daughter don't know how to, she's a ball player, she don't know how to walk in heels, and
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm doing, I don't like to shop, and she wants this dress, da 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 da. I said okay. And then you get all the same concept. I get the daughter. We hang out for a minute and we talk. And a lot of times they say, I'm so glad that you doing this. And my mama freaks me out, and that's okay. Sometimes, just a new sight, new eyes, new things to see. And we learn. Oh, no, we're not going to put you in no high nose. First, you consult with the parent, the person who's going to be paying you. What are the adult? You want to be appropriate. What's too much? Where's my limitation with her? So I know because they may want to go ahead and be Megan, but then Mama wants her to be Cinderella. So then I want to let me look for a medium. Let me find something that's not too flashy. The child is happy because at the end of the day, mom is paying for it. We want her happy, but the child needs to walk and be proud in it. So we want to come to a consensus. Always we'll go back to say, Mom, what is this? Showing pictures along the way. Is this appropriate? Are you good with this? And once they see him in it, they see him in a smile. It's nothing all up here, it's down, and everybody becomes happy, and that's happy for me.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the youngest you've worked with?
I've actually done a fashion show some years back for Back to School, Stop the Violence, and I had ages from 4 all the way up to 22. So and it was like probably maybe I want to say 70 of them, and it was a challenge. That was my first time working with kids, and I had to coordinate the fashion show, teach the children, teach them how to walk, teach them how to model, teach them how to be. And it was a back to school, so it was great though. It was probably the most accelerating fashion show I've ever done to date, because they were so hungry. And they wanted to learn and they listened, and it was about trying to coordinate. It taught me on how to break it up. Don't take on the whole project in one heave. Break it up into a point of training some trainers, some models, or people that you see as being some good models, the older ones. Teach them, and then I put them in sections. Once I trained them, and then they put them in sections to train each age group. Went to elementary, to middle school, to high school, and college. So that's how we did that. But then it was about me implementing what I can do to bring it out in the power. We had preachers in it. We had, because it's a lot to it. And they were so, to this day, and that's probably been about 10 years ago. That to this day, those children that's grown up are still in my inbox. And, they say, Miss Mona, you changed my life. Or Miss Mona, I still remember when you would say, do it again, do it again, do it again. Because I want them, and they feel empowered. I have moms still come in my inbox saying, my daughter changed. I don't know if you remember me, but I was the mom of so-and-so, and my daughter has confidence. I count that all to you in the beginning, because before she came in that fashion show, she didn't. And I remember her because she did not. She was very frigid and not sure of herself, because when I put them in the same mirror I put on the daughter, I make them look at themselves every day. I say, I am. We go with I am, and they say, I am strong. I am beautiful. They're looking at themselves in this mirror. They start saying, I'm pretty, and I have pretty legs, and I have a pretty body, and God loves me. And they say those things, and every time in practice, because it was over the summer where I would see them like at least 4 times a week, and it would say that until it became powerful in themselves. And I believe in that until this day. So it carried on. They grow up, and they don't look in the mirror all the time, and they say probably say those things in their head, because I do, because my daddy taught those things to me.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Absolutely. My pastor was in that walking debonair. He was a mess.
So that's something that needs to be kicked off for the Healing Cafe, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be really good. Yeah, that would
have a summer program to motivate, because our youth needs some type of motivation. Because all we talk about is the bad stuff they do.
Yeah, but they
got some good stuff.
Sometimes it's all about redirecting.
Redirecting, that's it. So you're talking about modeling and fashion shows. Tell us about what's coming up with you.
Yes,
We
we have
excited.
we have a fashion show coming up in October the 25th. It's called Albany Serves Brunch on the Runway.
All
And,
right.
and it's at brunch time. It's between 1 to 3 at the Northwest Library on Dawson Road. And it's going to be powerful. We are really going out of our way to make sure that it's something that's fresh, something that's clean but fresh and empowering with different ages of women and men. And we will have all aspects of this in the show. I'm excited. We have Brandy, which is one of somebody we counterparted with the beauticians, and she's handling. We'll have nail technicians that will be able to show their work. We will have a makeup artist that will be able to show their work. All kind of different things that take you into the healing of the outside.
Wow.
When we're gonna really ignite that in this show. So I'm excited. We're working on having a red carpet event, so you'll be able to see that. So we got a lot of little things in store for that day, and I'm excited for that.
Yes. Can you guys at home imagine being healed on the inside, and then it's just you come out on the outside and you're all dressed and you got your makeup on and you're looking good. Your
Feeling good.
spirit is healed. You're in love with God. You're in love with yourself.
Yes.
You're in love with who created you.
Yes.
I mean, that's just an awesome feeling to me. And I think
Yes.
that is the key to healing.
Yes.
Key.
It is so important.
Yes.
It is.
And we all need healing at some point. You know, it's not just a thing you go through when you're a teenager,
Right.
but it carries on. It's like you got to keep it going. You got to keep the healing process going. You got to keep the healing journey going,
Absolutely.
because we reach different. We have to conquer different mountains.
Yeah.
And then the mountain it gets higher and higher and higher. And you got to climb up higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
So you need strength to keep going, you know,
Absolutely.
because you know as you go higher, it's only God that's taking you
There
there.
you go. That's right.
And we want to be there to hope.
Yes.
To build them up.
And we don't want to be all in depression and all of that.
Absolutely not.
So you just want to ride with him.
That's right.
Because you know he's taking you to a good place.
That's right. That's right. Like my pastor say, you know, always have God as your primary. And then the secondary will always work into play. You know, not putting the secondary for the primary. You know, if you put God first.
Yes.
That's right. So yeah,
all this stuff is going
exactly. It's going to elevate you, and it's going to take you to a high level. All those things on that side of the fence are just temporary fixes. You know, we serve the God that gave us all, we will get it all. So that's a great.
And encounter that love. And what were we put here for? To
serve,
spread.
that's right. To serve. That's right. To serve. To bring people to God. That's the ultimate goal. And to look good while we doing it.
That's right.
That's my little input. Ain't it?
Look good while we doing it. Look good while we doing it. You ain't supposed to look all
Nah,
raggedy.
I'll never forget this pastor said, he said, I'm tired of these men coming in here looking like, this is back in the day now, y'all, I'm old. But he said, coming in looking like GQ, and the women look like Cabbage Patch Dolls.
Oh, my goodness.
So what is he saying there? We all need to look good.
That's right.
Looking like Cabbage Patch, they was looking bad, wasn't it?
I thought they was cute in a sense, but yeah, let's even spice up or whatever.
Yeah,
they need to spice it up.
Yeah, we're gonna spice up. We're gonna keep it looking good, keep it fresh. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what financial range you're in. I don't care what's going on, because life gonna always be life.
Right.
So we just need to look good while we lifing. Keep pushing, keep God first, and steady forth. So that's what we want to do.
And you'll forget about all those troubles.
That's right. You gotta keep yourself uplifted. You gotta encourage yourself sometimes. You know, and always don't put so much into nothing that's not of value. You know, well, what we think on worldly values. So if you put a lot into everything into that, you're just gonna struggle all the time. You know, just like some people want to have the most fanciest car, the most expensive clothes, the most everything, thinking that that's where that's gonna get their happiness. That happiness is not that's just temporary stuff.
Yes,
So
yes.
don't bank on that so much. Let's
Mhm.
bank on what's really valuable, and that is Christ. But then, like I say, look good while we doing it.
Look good. And check it out. Check me out. You
Check her
don't.
out.
You don't have to pay $500 and $600
That's
to look
right.
good.
That's right. That's right. I love it. That's right.
Cause she dressed us and we ain't paid no. Our outfits maybe $100.
Yeah. Probably even a little bit. Yeah.
A little less than that.
That's
This
right.
So you don't have to spend all your money
That's right.
to look good.
Mhm. Amen.
And the episode after this is going to be about makeup.
Yeah.
So she gonna show you how to beat that face. You get a
Yes.
light beat or a heavy beat.
That's right. Whatever the
Lashes
occasion.
or no
Whatever
lashes.
the occasion is. So we're gonna look good while we're healing on this. While we're getting rid of all of that anger,
Amen.
all of that
Trauma.
bitterness, all of that trauma. We have historical trauma. We want to leave that stuff
Yes.
back in history. Leave it in the history books
That's right.
and move forward.
Always.
Always break the curse.
That's right.
And at the Healing Cafe, our goal is to create curse breakers.
Right.
We're going to talk about your past and what happened in the past, but we don't want it in the present.
That's right.
So you're the one that break the curse.
Mhm.
You're the one that we ain't going to talk about slavery because you're going to be the one that get rid of that historical trauma that happened back there in slavery. So you're going to cut it. It's not going to the next generation.
That's right.
And like Miss Mona said, we're going to look good while we're doing it.
Amen.
And like she likes to say, you choose your destiny.
That's right.
It's your choice.
It's your
That's
choice.
right. Amen.